What is going on, people? Hopefully everyone's being safe and staying sane in this craziness of a world that we live in. But if you couldn't tell by the title, I'm doing something a little bit different. Pretty much what I did on my Instagram, I put a poll to see what people might want to see the next video. So if you have any ideas of a video you might want next, let me know in the comments and stuff. But I put two because I haven't done them in a while. Either my Steelbook collection, or I'm going to go over 10 lesser known movies. I was, whether it be, horror movies or whatever, I was kind of juggling that, but I already did a 10 lesser known horror movie video that I'll try to link on the bottom of this one. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up a few movies that I think maybe not many people have heard of. I could be wrong. People could have heard of all of these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, if you couldn't tell, the lesser known titles, the 10 lesser known titles, not by big majority, but more people wanted to see a video with 10 lesser known movies. So that's what I'm going to do. I got a few. I think I got one horror movie that I'll talk about. Most of it is either coming of age or love stories. Some are a little bit more intense, I guess you want to call it. But like I said, there's really one horror movie that I want to mention that I think a lot of people should check out that I don't think many people have heard of. Some of these, I really didn't check to see where you can get them. I own them on Blu-ray, so I know at some point you can, if you're a physical media collector, you can pick these up on physical media. If they're on Vudu or Netflix or anything like that, I'm not 100% sure. But for the most part, like I said, if you're a physical media collector, they're there. Before I do get into this, a few little notions of business, I guess you want to call it. I do have a 1,500 subscriber contest going on right now. It's still open till July 2nd. So if you want a chance to win 3 different prizes, enter in. You still have time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy this video, of course, hit the like button at the end of this. And of course, hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload more videos such as this. So now that that's over, like I said, I got 10 movies here. I'm not going to go too crazy into depth with the reviews and stuff. I'll hit on certain points. But I think these are 10 movies that I think you should check out. Let me go with the horror movie first. Like I said, one horror movie. I think I got a comedy, coming of age, or love stories or anything like that. Anyway, this one I've mentioned other times in videos past, but I don't know how many people have watched that. But I think you should try to check this one out. This one might be one of the harder ones to find, whether it be on digitally or on physical media. Might be a little bit harder to find, but the movie is called Pieces of Talent. We actually had the director, the main actress, the main actor on our podcast, put up by Joe Stoffer, starring David Long and Christy Ray. Those are the main 2 characters, about a down on her luck girl who's trying to become an actress, and she ends up running into, let's just say, the wrong person at that point in time. This guy David Long's character, he comes off as genuine and stuff, and says that he makes his own movies and he's gonna put her in them and put her in the movies and stuff like that. But let's just say the movies he makes aren't the ones that I think everyone should check out. You'll have to check the movie so you understand what I'm talking about. But let's just say wrong place, wrong time kind of deal, meeting the wrong person at that point. But Pieces of Talent, really very artsy. Some parts get very gory and stuff. But for the most part, the plot and everything I think is really cool with this one. I think you all should check it out. This one is more of a comedy. This was... when was this one from? This one was from... when the hell did it come out? 2001, it says. So I don't know if this... I thought it was late 90s, but I guess it is early 2000s. Stars Brendan Fraser, Bridget Fonda, Chris Kattan. This movie is called Monkey Bones. This is more of a comedy, like not on your normal spectrum of comedy. It has like its own tangent kind of deal. Brendan Fraser is a down on his luck comic and all this stuff. At one point in time, he, let's just say, gets transferred. I'm not going to tell you how, but he ends up getting transferred into this like world of his own creations and stuff. And one of the main characters that he's written and drew and stuff is this guy called Monkey Bones, who is an over the top kind of character. Let's just say at one point in time, this character tries to inhabit the real world and all craziness that ensues. I think if you haven't seen this one, I remember watching it when I was younger and then totally forgot about the movie, saw it on a poster or a picture, and I'm like, wow, it like jogged my memory back. And then watching it, it's over the top. It is a fun watch, just different than your normal comedies. It's not like knee slapping kind of comedy. You're not going to get a lot of jokes. Just the overall version of it, I think you should definitely check out for sure. Monkey Bones. The next few are going to be a couple of them are love stories. The other one are more coming of age kind of deal. But this one, anything that I've seen Anna Kendrick in, I enjoy. One, because I find her gorgeous, but also she's like a dual threat. Really good actress. Beautiful, voice. She sings in a lot of her movies and stuff like that. So overall, anything that I've, wanted to check, or any time I've seen her name on a billing, I'm like, I'll definitely just check out the movie anyway. This one, I don't know if it ever came out in the theaters. I don't remember it. Not that I go to the theaters much. But it stars Anna Kendrick, Lisa Kudrow, Craig Robertson, a whole bunch of other people, June Squibb. Some of these names I don't I've seen them before, but I don't recognize what other movies they've been in. But the movie is called Table 19, and Table 19 is for, I guess, people that go to weddings and stuff. You have specific seating and stuff, and let's just say usually the later tables are for the quote unquote random people, I guess you want to call it, the ones that don't fit into certain groups. Well, Anna Kendrick was a best friend with the bride, and she started dating the bride's brother. Let's just say they had a really bad breakup, and they were uninvited to the wedding, and she didn't want to go, but then she changed her mind and all this stuff. So anyway, she ends up going to this wedding very awkwardly because, like I said, the brother broke up. They started, fighting and all this stuff. So it was just an odd situation. So she ends up getting stuck at Table 19 with all the, friend of a friend of a friend kind of deal. It's not like it's, family members or best friends like that. So she ends up getting sat at this table with the random people, I guess you want to call it, and them telling stories, and you learn about each character and stuff like that. Like I said, horror movies, for those of you who have seen my reviews and all that stuff, horror movies are pretty much my life. But I enjoy coming of age movies, love stories if they have, not the same story over and over and over and over again, because now that's pretty much, you could slap a title on a movie and it has the same plot. This one was completely different. This one, you learn about the characters. I love character development, and just hearing, different stories. And, one lady was the maid. I enjoy her character a whole lot, especially towards the end. But let's just say things happen and the story grows. I don't want to get way too deep into it because I do want you to watch, like I said, a lot of these movies. So Table 19, if you've never seen that one, I'd say go ahead and check it out. This one is put out by, I guess it wasn't. I thought it was put out by Magnolia, but it's not. This one stars Ryan Gosling, Emily Mortimer, Paul Schneider, Patricia Clarkson, and Kelly Garner. The movie is called Lars and the Real Girl. Pretty much I don't think it ever really tells you of what, Ryan Gosling is diagnosed with. I don't know if it's diagnosed with like depression or anything like that, but you can tell Ryan Gosling's character is a little off. And at one point in time, he ends up buying or receiving or whatever it is, pretty much a sex doll. And let's just say from that, he ends up, bringing this sex doll everywhere and in every situation, from church to, going to his brother's house to eat and stuff like that. So, at that point in time, you have the naysayers like, what the hell is going on? But then you get the people in the town that are, for him. He gives her a name and a backstory and all that stuff, and they're very interested in it. It's just an interesting movie. Like I said, I don't remember if they tell you exactly what he has. I don't know if it's like full depression or like another disorder of some sort, but he's just a little off, and he, befriends and falls in love with a sex doll, pretty much. And it's just the people around him kind of making him feel comfortable, some people not, but really did enjoy this movie a whole lot. This, if I have to put it in a box with another movie, this had reminds me of a Stand By Me kind of deal. Not the same plot whatsoever, but it has that camaraderie and that family and stuff like that. I don't remember Moses Arias. He was in one of the Disney shows. He's in this. Nick Robinson and Gabriel Basso. They're pretty much the three main stars of this. The movie is called The Kings of Summer, and pretty much what this is these three young boys, they, get sick and tired of, family life and all this stuff and rules and regulations and stuff like that. So pretty much what they do is they end up building their own big clubhouse, I guess you would want to call it, in the middle of the woods. And pretty much, they go and they pretty much live there. They kind of run away from home and they want to, build a society kind of deal in the woods. And throughout the movie, it's different things that happen. It was at one point in time, family for all, and then it was, just friends and all that stuff. And it was, let's just say throughout the movie, friendships are not torn fully, but, things happen. People get mad at each other sometimes, but at the end of it, family and friends always come back together. Really cool, really fun movie. Like I said, it has the Stand By Me kind of feel to it, where it's coming of age, friends coming together and figuring stuff out. But The Kings of Summer, I enjoyed this one a whole lot. This one is put out by Magnolia. Magnolia puts out a lot of, independent titles. Each, I'll talk about it after, but there are certain companies that are like the underbelly of the bigger, companies. So Magnolia puts out a lot of more independent stuff. Some of this stuff does not reach theaters. It's pretty much, I guess you would call it, straight to physical. This one stars Justin Long, Tyler LeBain, Jess Wexler, Addison Timlin, Frank O'Connor, and Shelley Long. The movie is called Best Man Down. And pretty much it's Justin Long's character and Tyler LeBain's character have been friends since high school. Let's just say at one point in time, certain people, when you're in high school, your personality and stuff is a lot different than when you grow up. Some people really never grow up out of, a high school mentality or whatever, but sometimes friendships never break. And let's just say Justin Long and Tyler LeBain are like polar, I wouldn't call it polar opposites, but anyway, Justin Long gets married at one point in time, and Tyler LeBain's character ends up passing away at the wedding. So what should be a, what do you want to call it? I can't even think of the word. After the wedding, honeymoon. There you go. Couldn't think of that. Anyway, what should be a honeymoon for Justin Long and his new wife end up becoming, trying to get the friend's body back and have a proper funeral. And let's just say throughout the rest of the movie, Justin didn't really know his friend as well. You know, in high school you hang out all the time, but you know, life happens when you get older and you don't know exactly. You'll get together and seem like nothing ever changed, but sometimes you don't know exactly what's going on in another person's life. Well, let's just say things come up that shock Justin's character, and let's just say for the better, for the worse at some point in times, but you learn a lot about what was happening behind the scenes kind of deal. Really cool movie, really fun movie. I enjoyed the plot a whole lot. Check out Best Man Down if you have not. This one is more intense. This one is based off a true story. I forget exactly where it was. Some Texas town. I don't know exactly what Texas town it's in, but it's based on a true story. The movie is called Bomb City, and pretty much what it is two conflicting groups. You have the jocks in a high school, and then you have the punks in this high school. So you have the, quote unquote upstanding jocks that can never do anything wrong, that pretty much run the town, and you get the rebellious punks and all that stuff that, go for, I don't want to say anarchy or anything, but they're looked at differently than normal society. So anyway, in this small town, they go at it all the time. They're fighting all the time, and one night, let's just say, escalates to something that should have never happened, that, is tragic, but that night changed the lives of a lot of people and a lot in this town. Very intense movie, like I said. The subject matter is, tough because, especially, in these times now, people just got to learn how to, get along and all that stuff, but it doesn't always happen. There's good people, there's bad people, and let's just say certain things happen all the time. But Bomb City, if you've never seen Bomb City, I say check it out. Like I said, it is based on a true story, which sucks, but, it's one that I think you should check out. It's put out by Gravitas Ventures. This next one is put out by Universal, and like I said, each one kind of has their own independent style, and Universal's is Focus. So a lot of the movies under the Focus name or whatever studio are more independent movies, I guess. But this one stars Naomi Watts, Sarah Silverman, Lee Pace, Dean Norris, the Maddie Ziegler, I guess her name is. But anyway, the movie is called The Book of Henry. So Naomi Watts is a single mother of two who is trying to get her life together or whatever, but her 11-year-old son, let's just say at this point in time, is a genius. So he does pretty much everything for her. He's kind of like the guardian of the whole family, as crazy as it sounds. But he, let's just say, does the taxes and all this stuff and financial. It all goes through him. Anyway, next door to him lives Maddie Ziegler's character, along with, at that point in time, you don't know what's going on, but you kind of figure out that, let's just say, this girl's father is abusive, and throughout the movie, they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the son is, writing all these different things in a notebook. You don't know what goes on until the very end, which I don't want to get into, but let's just say, towards the end of the movie, Naomi Watts kind of has to take over this research. Again, not going to tell you why, but it takes you in waves, because sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's very serious, sometimes it gets like thriller-ish, I guess you want to call it. So it has a little bit of everything in this movie, to tell you the truth. It kind of hits on every trope except for straight up horror. But The Book of Henry, I'd say if you haven't checked this one out, definitely check it out for sure. And then these next two are Lion Gates. They're independent. It's A24. There's some movies that, get the full-out theatrical release and stuff like that. But then there's other ones that go straight to physical media. But A24, like I've said before, I've done, A24, showed off my whole collection and whatever. A lot of their movies, most of the movies I have checked out. Some of the movies I haven't, but I own a whole bunch. Everything I've seen from A24 in every genre has hit with me. So there's a lot of movies that, You know, in certain genres I never would have watched before, but I watch it because it's A24. But these two, the one really was the one that got me into the whole A24 phenomenon kind of deal. There is another one like Ex Machina. That was another one that was really, really cool. But this first one was the one that really got me into it. And I'm like, I got to check out more of this, you know, company or A24. But it stars Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. And I've said it before, I've done a review for it before, but I want to harp on it for those of you who might not have seen those videos or anything like this. But the movie is called Swiss Army Man, and pretty much Paul Dano's character ends up on a island. You think it's going to turn into a Castaway kind of deal, which it somewhat does kind of deal. But anyway, Paul Dano, you can tell he's down on his luck. You know, he's just stuck on this island, like contemplating many of things, and then all of a sudden at one point in time, like Castaway, he gets a friend. Not like Wilson, which is a volleyball, but you get a dead body that rolls up on the ocean, which is Daniel Radcliffe. And let's just say at one point in time, you know, he pulls this body. You can definitely tell it's dead, but at one point in time, this body comes back to life. And let's just say he uses this body in many, 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 many forms, many different ways. If you look at the back, there's certain points where, you know, his Daniel Radcliffe's body just starts coming back, doing a lot more things. And then towards the end, you figure out, you know, what's going on and what happens and all that stuff. Don't want to get way too deep into it, like I said, with any of them. But Swiss Army Man, if you haven't checked that one out, check it out. And this is one of the latest ones that they put out on A24 put out probably a couple months ago now. But the movie is called The Death of Dick Long. And one of the main reasons I got this movie is because of the title, The Death of Dick Long. It's like, what the heck? So anyway, it's about three friends who, on one night, you learn what happens on that night later in the movie, but let's just say a night of fun and whatever turns into a night of not so fun. Right in the beginning, you see these two guys carrying their friend to the hospital and kind of leaving him in front of the hospital where, unfortunately, he passes away. So throughout the movie, it's these two friends now trying to figure out ways of not only, I guess, getting away with it. Is that the best way to put it? I don't want to say that, but kind of pushing everything under the rug. But of course, you know, having a small community or having a small group of friends, things are going to come up. The wife starts looking for the husband. The last two people that were known to be with him are these two. So now the cops are getting involved and all this stuff. So what happens when you have such a big secret that, you know, you can't tell anybody or anything like that? Your world starts crumbling around you. You start acting different. Let's just say the people around you start noticing. Don't want to get way too deep into it, but like I said, by the end of the movie, you find out what happened on that one night that pretty much changed everything about these friends and the town, and not so much the town, but the friends and everything that happened in there. Like I said, the thing that caught my eye was the trailer, the title of the movie. But after watching it, it was the plot and everything that went with it. So, The Death of Dick Long, I'd say check it out for sure. I'd say check out a lot of the A24 titles. Like I said, they hit on every genre that you can think of, and with every plot and every thought and everything. A24 is one of my favorite studios out there. So, those are the 10 movies that I think, you know, more people should check out. Maybe you've seen some of these. Maybe you've heard of some of these. Maybe you haven't. I'd say, you know, find them if you can. Like I said, not 100% sure if they're on, you know, Netflix or on Amazon or Vudu or anything like that. But I do know, like I said, they are on physical media, so you can pick them up if you're a collector. But I say if you were looking for movies to watch, those are 10 titles to look out for or to look up, or, you know, however you find your movies. So those are 10 movies, like I said, to check out. So hopefully you enjoy that. If you want any of these movies in further depth and review, let me know. But I think I did them justice, nothing too crazy, but I think I did them justice for what they were. But I can go into more depth if you want so. But tried to hit on every genre kind of deal. I could have had an action movie and stuff like that, but I think action movies are, one of the same kind of deal. But hopefully you've seen something you've never seen before, or you might want to check out. So again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and of course hit that little bell button. I don't know why I put my thumbs up for the bell, but hit that bell button. Like I said, I have a 1,500 subscriber contest still going on my channel. So I have 3 different prizes you can win. So check that out. You still have until July 2nd to do so. And yeah, I guess that's about it. If you enjoyed this and you want others, let me know. And maybe if you want some other kind of video, let me know in the comments of, like I said, I have steel books. That is another video that I have on the docket, I guess you would call it, unless people want to see other videos first, but that one is on the docket. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.